Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review movies, and today I watched the 2019 film The Gentleman. It's a crime drama about a gangster trying to sell his British marijuana empire. While trying to sell, he sparks a huge conflict between himself and a few of his peers, which leads to plots, schemes, bribery, and blackmail aplenty. Guy Ritchie, Ivan Atkinson, and Martin Davies wrote the story. Guy Ritchie then adapted it into a screenplay and directed the film, which stars Charlie Hunnam, Matthew McConaughey, and Hugh Grant. To begin, let's go over the film's good points. The story at the heart of the film is a complex crime drama with lots of moving parts, a ton of excitement, and a myriad of cool lines. It's also filled with flavor and sports so much intrigue you'll have to finish once you start it. Most of the cast is solid across the board, but Matthew McConaughey stands out as a shining star amongst them. His character Mickey is one of the coolest gangsters to ever grace the silver screen. He's got a debonair appearance that turns intense and imposing the second anyone crosses him. McConaughey delivers his lines with incredible passion and turns him into a likable hero in a tale of hateful gangsters committing horrendous crimes. When Mickey finally snaps, he gives one of the coldest speeches I've ever seen, and McConaughey's delivery is perfect. He nails the emotional journey and cleans house during several big confrontations. The story takes place in a beautifully crafted world that is highly detailed and aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The film takes great care with its sets and costumes and builds amazing spaces for highly dramatic confrontations to take place. On top of that, the film's editing is highly stylized and the camera work is fantastic. There's a huge variety of angles, well-lit shots, and powerful scenes. The visual journey as a whole is easily digestible. One of the high points of the film are the intense confrontations that take place between the various gangsters and criminals. They meet up to challenge one another and make power plays for their interests, and it's always a highly intense affair with a lot of verbal jousting. The cast does a great job on these scenes, keeping up the rhythm and creating lots of drama. Alright, now that we've been over the good, let's address a few negatives about the film. The story is needlessly complex. There's the story at the heart of the film, and then there's the story on top of that, which is two guys telling each other versions of the main story. You could easily take out the reporter character that Hugh Grant plays and make the story clearer and more impactful. Hugh Grant does a decent job of his role, but his storyline is just obnoxious. They're constantly cutting back and forth so he can tell jokes, and it messes with the flow of the film. The story is also filled with a bland cast of characters. All of them are playing gangsters with essentially the same personality, barring a few minor differences. So basically every scene comes down to machismo and verbal jousting. It's all well done, but it's also very monotone. The soundtrack is made up of scored instrumentals that don't detract from the emotional journey, but they also don't do much for it either. They're just kind of there, and that's how most of the film's soundtrack is. The few original songs they use appear for short periods, don't have much of an impact either, and just add a bit of flavor to the atmosphere. The film also doesn't take any chances. It's a Guy Ritchie special about gangsters who like to talk. He's not going out of his way to create a story with deep meaning or trying to do anything new with this film. There's no mind-blowing scenery, nothing in the soundtrack is going to impress you, and most of the cast are playing similar characters. The Gentleman is a highly entertaining popcorn flick, but that's about all it is. It's a well-made film. If you like crime dramas with lots of excitement in them, it's great for an afternoon watch. The visual journey is solid, the cast does a decent job, and Matthew McConaughey knocks his role out of the park. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.